So, GBA Xilicks here, and welcome back to the third week of the GBA Fantasy League. So, thank you guys again for all the submissions from week 2. We got all of them that were submitted in time and have scored up all your points. So, continue watching if you'd like to see how well you did, where you can find the points, and where you can submit next week. Alright, so for our first segment, we are looking at the last week quick picture. So, our top player was Shinobu, scoring a very large amount of points with 88. We have our all-star, who is offensive Kabalion, getting 19 points with that, I believe 4 Mon sweep and then 1, maybe 2 Okos in there. I think just 1. And then our coach of the week was Crimson Seabad, scoring that big 6-0 win over Gym Leader Geo and the San Francisco Giants. Alright, so moving over to the document, remember you can find this page and look for yourself on the GBA fan document linked in the description. Go to the week 2 page and you can see all the points from last week. So looking over, we have our coaches, so anyone who picked Crimson is scoring 9 points, and then as you can see the rest go down. Here we have our all-star, which was offensive Cobalion, getting 19 points, so anyone who picked it would get 24 as their all-star. Then moving on to my pick 6, well, this was Tom's pick 6 of last week, so I got 14 points for week 2. And then looking at our offensive ranking, we have Cobalion, Mew, and Roserade in our top 3. Roserade, by the way, very surprising. I imagine that caught a lot of people off guard. And then moving on to our defensive rankings, we have Empoleon, Tyranitar, and Mew. So, again, if you're looking on this page yourself, you can scroll down and see all the different points, and then why they're scored the way they are. So, yeah. Next up, we're going to begin looking at your scores from week 2. Alright, so looking at your scores from this week, this page can be found, I believe this is going to be moved over to the fantasy document. However, if it is not able to be found on the fantasy doc, it will be on the fantasy spreadsheet 100%. So if you can't find this on the fan document, look in the fantasy spreadsheet, also linked below. But here you can see a lot of players actually got the all-star this week. Many picked, some solid picks, and then we can scroll down and see what you got. So if you can't find your name, just hold Control, press F, or Command F if you're on a Mac. Type in your name and you'll be able to find your name and your score. Your total score will be all the way in the right category. And also to address one thing, anyone who's concerned about people having inside knowledge or potentially cheating, we have, I guess, upped our security on this. So hopefully, if any of these were illegitimate, it won't happen again, we hope. And yeah, we're going to do our best to prevent that in the future, because obviously, we want the game to be fair for everyone. And we're not going to discount any picks from this week, because we're not going to accuse people of cheating without actually knowing. We realized that, we could do a few things to up our security, so we did that. But there's no need to be negative. This is just for fun. If you'd like to participate for next week, being week 3, you can make your picks down on the Google form in the description, and we're going to switch over to the You Pick 6 section for this week, where we will be joined again with another coach, so stay tuned to see who that is. So moving on to the You Pick 6 section, I'm joined again with another guest. How about you introduce yourself?
Hola guys and girls, El Ciso aka Lars here, your coach of the Borussia Donphan.
So it is Borussia. I've always wondered, is it Borussia?
I used to say Borussia because I think that's easier for all the your English folks to pronounce, but in original it is Borussia, just with an S.
Alright,
Borussia.
so easier for us Americans. Just Borussia. so you're gonna be giving us the You Pick 6 for this week. So how about you get started with your first offensive pick?
Okay, and my first offensive pick is gonna be Thunderous T from the San Jose Chapitos. I think they are. Let me look at the schedule again, so I have that up. They're facing the San Francisco Giants, and the one thing they have on their team is they have no electric immunity. And they have a bunch of weaknesses to the Fun DT, and Fun DT has of course set up on both sides, be it Nasty Plot, Agility, and if Tom decides to bring such a variant, I think it can actually pull through his team and give us a lot of offensive points.
A very wide move pool Thunderous T
Yeah,
has, and that very impressive special attack stat. What is it, 145?
yeah.
Yeah,
And a
so
nice speed at
that's
101, so it outspeeds the Salamence by 1 point.
which is going to be very useful.
Yeah.
It can hit it with an HP Ice or hit it with even a Thunderbolt is probably ripping through that thing.
Yeah, so even if Tom decides to bring like a Scarf variant to be like safe for DD Salamence or like speed the Aerodactyl and stuff like that, because Geo has no electric immunity and its only resistance is the Ferrophone and the Heliolisk. Heliolisk, of course, not being that bulky. Ferrophone, of course, can take some hits, but a superpower versus a specially defensive Ferrophone, of course, will do a lot of damage since Fanity has the potential to run mixed.
Yeah. So how about your second offensive pick? What do you have?
Okay, my second pick is going to be pretty similar because I choose actually Thunderous Eye from the, let me look at that again. God damn it. But from the Philadelphia Scissors versus Free State Torterracats, because they have a similar problem. They have an electric immunity, but the problem is that it's only, or quote unquote, only below the Marowak. Marowak's Bedef, of course, is a very nice check to most fast electric types because it's resistant to HBIs, which most of them run, and all this good stuff, but the big thing Thunderous Eye has is, as well, this wide move pool, which you can run on both sides, so he just needs to click knock off basically one time, and the Marowak already loses leftovers or his Thick Club, which is very important to it, and with other moves like Dark Pulse and something like that, it can basically pull through that team. Other thing is that the Thunderous T actually outspeeds the whole team of the Free State Torterracats, barring the Weavile, so Weavile is going to be scary to revenge kill that thing, but that's not too much important for like offensive mons once they die to generate points, that is.
Yeah.
But other than that, it has like the coverage to kill like all the mons. Like I said, knock off for Marowak, HP Ice for Thunderous Eye, Thunderbolt for Keldeo, then like U-turn or Single Beam for Celebi, Thunderbolt for Mandibus, and knock off for Metagross, and so on and so on.
Yeah.
So
it definitely has a lot of different sets it can run, because that's the Prankster one, right? The Incarnate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it can set up to like sub Nasty Plot. It can pass Thunder Wave around, which did get nerfed a little bit with the accuracy, but it's still very annoying if your team gets paralyzed.
Yeah, nobody likes that.
So how about your third offensive pick? What do you have?
Okay, my third offensive pick is more like a wish pick. I want this mon to do good, and that's the Mew of Scepter LMC and the San Francisco Arcaniners. He praised Mew at the beginning of it in his draft analysis, if you watched that he wants to bring more offensive Mews, because every time you see like a bulky Mew, be it Split F, be it physically defensive or something like that, and the first 2 weeks now he brought defensive Mew 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe it's time for an offensive Mew. I have no idea yet what offensive Mew, like physically offensive, specially offensive, life orb, setup variant, whatever, but I think it's time that George will have to bring his offensive Mew, and if he brings offensive Mew, it will of course have all the courage it needs and will be able to pull through.
Mew has done very well these past 2 weeks as well, in fantasy at least. It's scored a lot of points, whether it was utility points or offensive points or defensive points, because it is so versatile.
Yeah, and it's a Z cap. No? He has yet to bring a Z move on his Mew, so
right, yeah.
I think week 3 is a good time for that.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see what kind of sets he can craft up, especially offensively, just because, you know, he has the Z crystals, it has that huge move pool, it can really do whatever he wants it to.
Yeah, basically.
So how about your first defensive pick?
Okay, looking at the first defensive pick, I got Clefable from the St. Louis Rampados. They are facing the Gators. Florida Gators and Gator this time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it will do pretty defensively, well defensively, because Gator doesn't have too much to break through a bulky fairy type. The one thing he has is Z-Trend, which is of course always a nice switch into the Clefable. But Dan will of course know that and prepare for E-Trend. Not really with a coverage move on Clefable, I don't think so. I think he will definitely bring like a defensive Clefable to deal with Latios and Mamoswine and stuff like that, and the Heracross mainly. And the good thing is with the fairy typing is that it resists a lot of things Gator has. Like I said, the bug moves from Galvantula and Heracross, the potential dragon moves of course from Latios and stuff like that. So I think Gator will have some problems breaking through the Clefable that basically every player has if you ever played on the OU ladder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think it will be able to take some hits and generate some defensive points that way.
And we've seen that Gator has the potential with setup with either Halucha or even like a DD Latios potentially, you never know. But Unaware Clefable can definitely put in some work there, ignoring those stat boosts. Or even Magic Guard if he wants to take less residual damage from things like rocks or a potential toxic or something from like the Pikachu.
Correct.
So how about your second pick?
Okay, second pick. I got I'm building kind of a core right here. I got the Skarmory from the New Orleans Pelopas and John. They are facing against Hoodlum and the Alola Athletic, and Skarmory will definitely come because Hoodlum is of course, or Callum, however you would call him, he's the guy with the sand offense in Excadrill, and there's actually no better stop to Excadrill than a Skarmory. Because that's why I think it's a pretty safe pick that it's gonna be come to the match. So at least get the points that it will be on the battle. If it will shine, we will see how much or how Callum will prepare for breaking through Skarmory. But I guess Skarmory will take a lot of Earthquakes. It will be Earthquake Iron Head switch in versus Excadrill if he decides to bring like Sand offense with Excadrill. So it will take a lot of resisted hits or even immune hits, which will give him some points. And Spadef Skarmory can still take on the Excadrill, for example, and then take hits from the Shaman, from the Crobat, and all this good stuff. Take Volt Switches from Rotom and Roost on them. So I think Skarmory will be able to get some points in this week.
The other thing I see with Skarmory as well is like a Fire Blast from the T-Tar or any other like coverage is either going to be super effective or resisted to the point where Skarmory can take the hit and roost it back off. So it definitely has the points, or the capability of getting a lot of defensive points, as well as potentially setting up things like spikes and hazards to get those utility points racked up as well.
With Sturdy, you're basically guaranteed to live like probably one super effective hit, so there are at least some points already.
Yeah, and he won't take the chip damage from the sand with that steel typing, so...
Yep.
So how about your final pick, right?
Okay, my final defensive pick is the Slowbro from the Detroit Steel Wings. He's playing the Utah Jasmine, and what I think why Slowbro may get a lot of points if Koopa brings the Darmanitan. Slowbro is basically the only defensive check he has to Darmanitan, and why I think he will get a lot of points is because Koopa is of course a smart player. He will click U-turn a lot of his Darmanitan if he predicts the Slowbro to come in, which is of course super effective hit, which won't do a lot of damage to the Slowbro, and that way he will probably take like 2 to 3 U-turns before Koopa actually starts taking Flare Blitz or stuff like that. So I think Slowbro will be able to get a lot of points that way.
Yeah, most of the oncoming attacks, like either Flare Blitz or U-turn, would be either resisted or super effective to score those points for the Slowbro. And it gets that nice regenerator ability so it can keep switching out and healing off the damage.
Yeah, like I'm not so sure if Koopa will bring Darmanitan because of Slowbro and some other stuff, but I'm pretty sure that Chase will bring the Slowbro just to not basically lose to Darmanitan.
Yeah, just
when the time comes.
Not to get 6-0'd right in team preview.
So yeah, these are basically my 6 choices right here. Of course, I did not talk about my matchup because I think that's kind of cheating because I already know what I bring.
Right,
my team is pretty built, so I don't want to cheat and like tell you guys which one I bring so you get points. So yeah, I let the matchup of me and Mona out of the picture here.
Alright, so do you have anything else to say about your picks? How are you feeling about them?
I feel really good about them. I got the both funny bros. I gotta say, Mew is like the wild card. I have no idea if George will actually bring an offensive Mew. Like, I'm very sure that Mew will come. Like, Mew is the money which you can bring every week because, like I said, it can basically do anything. Be special defensive, physically defensive, hazards control, offensive on both sides. But it's kind of iffy if it's going to actually be offensive and if it's offensive, if it can pull through, that is. Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited to see if Mew can do some stuff. I want it badly to see like offensive Mew doing stuff. Not with me, of course, with other people.
Yeah, that'd be very interesting if Mew ends up being one of the like big time offensive picks for people. I know I picked Mew last week as like an all-star. I was let down, but it definitely did get a lot of points, just not quite enough.
Yeah, sadly that was me.
Yeah. So that's gonna be it for this week's episode of Fantasy. Remember to fill in the the form below if you'd like to participate yourself. And yeah, come back next Tuesday. Do you have anything else to say?
No, be excited for some awesome matches for next week. And yeah, hopefully you all can get a lot of points. Good luck.
Yep. Good luck, everyone. So I'll see you guys next time. My name is Xilicks. Okay, thanks, bye.